Hello everyone, I am back. I know I took a long hiatus being back after 1 year. Today's video is all about contouring. It's per request. One side I will do the cream contour along with the powder, and on the other side I will be doing the powder contour. So if you like the way this looks, then please keep watching. So I already have my concealer done under eyes. I used the Anastasia Beverly Hills concealer under my eye, which is a corrector. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my Vita Lumiere Chanel foundation with that dome brush, and I'm going to put that over my face. The shade for my skin tone is 40 beige, but of course you should get that checked out for yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the foundation all over. Just dab it with the brush first, and I guess I changed my mind and I really wanted to use the beauty blender. So that's a dampened beauty blender, nothing else. I'm just going to tap that into my skin. I'm going to pat it in using the patting motion. I don't want my foundation to be all over moving around, so that's why I'm using that motion, whereas I can just swivel it around. But I took it down to my neck as well to make sure that it all matches and looks seamless. My eye makeup is done, by the way, already. My brows are also done. My lips and my face is the only thing that's not. That's why I'm working on that now. So I'm going to go ahead and stipple that in all into my skin and make it look flawless. Make sure that doesn't sit in any lines or wrinkles, the fine lines and wrinkles that I'm getting. Ugh, terrible. Just taking a little more to build that up on any areas that I see necessary, and you can do that as well. Please make sure though, anytime you put on any foundation or any concealer, you do have to make sure that your skin is very hydrated and you use really good skincare. So whatever you're using, I'm sure it's fine. Just make sure that it's your skin is really good, really well hydrated, especially in the summer. You want it to look very glowy and dewy and not very matte. So I already had my skincare on, of course, prior to putting on my foundation. I am now reaching for my concealer that I'm going to put on under my eyes and on any troubled spots. The one that I'm using is a Studio Finish concealer by MAC in NW35. And for that, I am going to be using the Sephora Airbrush Concealer brush in the number 57. So I'm just going to stipple that around my eye area. Under my eye area, especially where I have the bags, you'll see in the inner corner of my eyes and on any of the blemish-prone skin area that I have. So just patting that on. Also, I apologize, I was having horrible allergies that day, hence my red eye and my eyeshadow that did not stick on pretty well. Sorry. This is going to be the part where we start contouring, yay, with the cream foundation. So I used a Graftobian palette, and I chose about 4 or 5 shades darker than my skin tone, the one I'm pointing at right now. That's the one that I used. I also used a very thin, tapered brush by Real Techniques, and I'm showing you how to find the place where you want to place that. So you might want to make the duck face, and the hollows of your cheek underneath is where you're going to start. Or you could take a brush and roll it down, and wherever that brush sets is where you want to contour. So you want to start off at the middle of your ear and then go on to where, if you look straight, the middle of your eyes. After that, I'm going to go ahead and place it on my forehead because I do want to make that area appear smaller. And move on to my nose. I'm going to start at the top near where my brows start, and I'm going to make a straight line down, and don't forget the edge of your nose. I'm putting it on my chin because I do want my chin to look a little more precise and kind of just looks more edgy, you know, I don't want it to look round, so want it to look a little bit thinner. So that's what I am contouring. So those are the 4 areas which I contoured with the Graph-Tobian palette. On the other side, of course, I'm going to show you how to do it with a powder. Now, this is a look that you can do on an everyday basis. It's very fast. It looks a lot more natural. I am using Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour palette, and I'm using those 2 colors mixed together. I'm going to use a different brush, of course. It is the not concealing, it is the contour brush by Real Techniques, and I'm going to apply the powder just as the same place on the other side as I did on the other cheek. So underneath where your jaws meet. So starting from your ear all the way down to the middle of the eye, and I'm sorry about that. The technique here is to blend, blend, blend. You don't want to see too harsh of a line. You do want to see the color, of course, contouring your skin, but you don't want it to seem really out of place. So especially for during the day, you want to keep this soft and natural looking, but definitely give that definition. So I'm going to go over it on my cheeks. After that, I'm going to go up to my forehead. Same idea. Want to make sure that it looks more chiseled. So I'm going to darken that up. The whole point of concealing is wherever you put the dark color, that's what's going to sink in. And wherever the light hits is where it's going to stand out. So you want to make sure that whatever your good points of the face are, whatever makes your face look thinner, those are the areas you want protruding out instead of the parts that are darkened. So I'm going to take the same brush. You can actually use a smaller brush to do the nose, which will be more precise. I actually am used to using this brush, so I was totally comfortable using it. So I went ahead and contoured my nose with that on the other side with the powder. Blend, blend, blend. And of course you want to do the same thing that you did on the other side with the powder. Now using the NARS Creamy Concealer, and this one is in Ginger, I am going to use this as my highlight color. I am going to make a triangle on both sides of my eye, under eye area. This actually makes you look more awake, and it hits the areas that get the most light, hence making your face look a little bit smaller. On the bridge of the nose is next, making sure that where you put the 2 contour colors, you're putting it right in the middle. My forehead, in the middle of my forehead, which hits the light most. Wow, I cannot talk today. Upper lip, Cupid's bow, and around it, just so my lips appear a little larger when I'm putting on the lipstick or lip gloss, and of course under my lip as well. And on my chin, if I didn't mention that. Now to chisel the face a little more, I'm going to put it right under my contour to clean that up a little bit and make it look a little more chiseled. And to blend all that, I'm going to use the same beauty blender I use the foundation with. You want to start off blending the highlight first, because you don't want to make your entire face dark using the contour colors. So you definitely want to do the lighter areas first, and then we'll come back to doing the contour color. And again, we're using the same patting motions. Make sure you're not making that go elsewhere by swiveling the beauty blender. You want to keep it in one place and very precise. So you're patting it into your skin. Yes, I look so beautiful. Not. It is the most embarrassing when my husband comes in once and I'm doing this and he's like, what is going on? Is that how you're gonna walk out the door? No, babe. It's gonna look flawless before we get out the house. I won't embarrass you like that. So we're going to blend under the eye. You need to make sure that you smooth it into the lines and wrinkles and they don't sit in it, because that will look really, really bad even after hours. So you need to make sure that you use that Beauty Blender up as much as possible to smooth the lines and wrinkles under your eyes for sure. I think I heard like horrible music or something outside. I don't know. Sorry for that ugly look. So now we're going to go ahead and blend the contour. Yay. So when you're blending the contour, you don't want to bring it down. You actually, on your cheeks, want to take it up. So that's what I'm working on right now. Just blending, 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 patting, patting, patting. Again, you don't want to take it far away from where you placed it, because that is, you placed it there for a purpose. So you want to make sure that you keep it in that area. The nose is very tricky. You want to make sure that it's all blended, but you can't take it all away from that area either, because you want to make sure that, I just dropped my Beauty Blender, of course. I don't know, it just slipped out of my hand. You want to make sure that it's still there so it looks like you have some contour and your nose does appear a little bit smaller. You're going to go ahead and blend the one on top of your forehead as well, and then go back and do any more blending that needs to be done. So after I do the cream contour, I am going to pick up the Anastasia powder once again, and I will be using the same colors to go back on top of my cream contour and place it right on top, because I want to make sure that that cream is all set, not going anywhere for the whole day and night. And I went back and darkened and deepened a little bit of the contour on the other side as well to make sure they look even. Same thing on the nose or anywhere I had applied the contour. I'm just going back to make sure that it's all there, set, and the cream won't move. Don't forget, under your chin, you want to do it right on your jawline, just to give it a little chiseled look there. Taking the Ben Nye banana powder next, and I will be using my Beauty Blender to actually bake. This process is called baking, which just means that you're going to dab your Beauty Blender or whatever sponge that you have, and you're going to cover your highlighted area with this powder. So any light powder, any yellow based powder, you want to use that on your highlighted area to not only set the concealer, I got that in my eye, not only to set the concealer and the highlight, but also to make it look a lot more sharper and a lot more brighter. And this is the time where you get to actually put it right underneath the contour to give it that very, very sharp edge. Okay. Now you're just going to wait about 5 minutes or so to let it bake. Do whatever you need. I was just singing to myself and checking my text messages. Let's see. Garbage. Delete. What the heck is that? You could forward through this part, I'm sure. I love my eyebrows arching. Like, what is going on in this world? I don't even know what I was listening to at that point. I am now taking the Real Techniques, what is it called? Multi-purpose brush, and I'm using Gilded. I don't think you can read that, but it's Gilded by Urban Decay. It is a bronzer, and I'm just going to take that and I'm going to apply right over the contour and into the highlight, but not too much into the highlight. I still want to keep the contour sharp. This is just going to give me that very sun-kissed glow because it has a little bit of glitter in it, fine glitter, I wouldn't say, or shimmer, but it definitely has a little bit of a shimmer in there. So I'm going to apply this wherever I applied the contour. So on my cheeks, nose, my forehead, and underneath my jaw. So you're just going to blend that in. I love this bronzer. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting everything. I'm going to take a stippling brush by MAC, and I don't know what number that is, but they have it still, of course. So you're just gonna, next process is just to take whatever you put on your skin, the powder, the baking is now done. And that means you're just gonna flick it away, say goodbye, don't become too attached wherever you see it. You're gonna blend it in, and there it goes. You know what's funny? I just realized that my eyebrows are like two different shapes. That's interesting. Comment below, let me know which one you like better. Can't believe I did that. That's very interesting. Anyways, since now that is done, I am going to take a little bit of more bronzer apparently, and I'm going to blend everything in. This has a really nice sheen to it. That's why I love this, and I keep going back to this, and I'm hitting pan on it. Need to get a new one. Next, I'm going to take Milani Baked Blush. I loved their baked blushes, and this one is in, I don't remember. Oh, I have it right here. Coralina or Coralina. It's 08. I like to say Coralina. I'm going to put that on the apples of my cheek, but I'm also going to drag it back a little bit into my contour and bronzer, just to make it a little more natural looking, but definitely want that on the apples of my cheek. So I do smile here a little bit just so I can see the apples of my cheek. I'm using a very light hand with this because this is a very pigmented blush. It looks a lot more deeper in person than it does in camera apparently. But yeah, it looks good so far. Next, I'm taking the MAC highlighter. You can see it in the link below. I'm not quite sure right now which one I used, but it is the MAC highlighter, and I'm just putting it on my finger and dabbing it onto the high points of my cheek, which is right underneath my eye, and you'll see how amazing that looks. Oh, glow for days. Yes. Of course, I'm not going to leave it like that, like a crazy person. So I'm going to take a fan brush, a mini fan brush from Ulta, and I'm going to blend that up to my temples. So, oh my gosh, I love that glow. Yes. So going to blend it up, blend it up, blend it up as much as possible, because we are going to come back and blend the entire face, and I'm going to show you a new technique that I learned, and it is phenomenal. Definitely need to use that. I've gotten so many compliments from my coworkers, not even telling them what I did. And I'm going to take a little bit more of the highlighter and put it above my eyebrow. I love that glow that it gives. Oh, so beautiful. Bridge of my nose, on top of my Cupid's bow, and a little bit on my chin that I already put on. So now I'm going to go back to that. I'm going to take a huge brush, actually. It's their powder brush, I believe, by Real Techniques. I'm going to take the banana powder. I'm going to dip it in there. And then I am going to brush it all away, tap it all away. Oh, yeah, too much powder. Not all away, but most of it away. And then I am just going to buff my skin with this all through town. Like, you need to buff for a while for everything to just melt into your skin and look beautiful. This technique actually I got from Goss makeup artist, who got it from the makeup artist Sonia Fizza. He went to their seminar, and I tried it right the next day after I watched his video, and oh my god, I cannot tell you how phenomenal the end product looks. Like, it just looks so seamless. So definitely loving that. I know my lips are not going to be pale like that, right? So I just picked these up, actually, two of my favorite colors, the purple and the pink. I'm going with the pink, and this one is by Anastasia Beverly Hills, called Dollhouse. Can I just take a minute to praise the pigment of this gloss? It smells delish, by the way. Oh, so good. Do you see how pigmented that is? Oh my god. Whatever she's doing to these are like, oh, so amazing. I don't know. It's just speechless. They're not sticky or thick either. I don't do sticky and thick glosses, and they stay on forever. So I wanted more of a natural kind of a glossy look, so I did pat my lips together. Usually I don't like to if I'm going for more pigment. But yes, oh my gosh, you guys need to go out and purchase this if you haven't already. I'm just waiting to get my hands on the liquid lipsticks, which are always out of stock every time I go to Macy's. Oh, I just want to cry. But yeah, I think that looks great with the whole look. Very summery. That's what I need in my life. In Chicago, apparently God forgot that it is spring. It is like fall weather here. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this look, guys, and I will be back soon with another tutorial. If you have any suggestions, please comment below and let me know. If you haven't already, subscribe, please. It was great being back. See you guys soon. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.